Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in miniature, and oh my goodness, we got something majorly obscure here. What am I even looking at? I don't even know. That's awesome. Isn't it? No, I know that this is a character from the Honor of Kings series of games. I know that it is made by Keyplay, who are the manufacturers of this thing. This is a big box. This is not what I was expecting. I have been in the mood for going straight to the source and finding more interesting and varied models. And so I've had people tell me, just go on AliExpress and start looking crap up. And so I did. And you'll notice we have the typical model kit type instructions. And what is this? Cayenne. I can't even read it. The box is all bent up there. I don't know, maybe that's a character's name. I don't even know. I'm sorry, guys. I don't really read Chinese. I can barely function in English, and that's about it. I can't remember any Spanish, and my Japanese is, like, relegated to cleaning the house these days. But it's a big box. Check it out. Like, it's even got the handle at the top. And to me, any kind of a model with a handle at the top is always a good sign that we're getting into a lot more than we bargained for. So looking at the back of the box here, you can see it looks like it's on the sprues. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. 23 centimeters tall, so it's a good size kit when it's all done. If the colors are actually that separated nicely, which realistically they could be, that's going to be kind of cool. And I'll be honest with you guys, I was expecting this to be much more like a standard 1/144th high-grade kit size box. I was not expecting something like this. So, let's find out what in the world I got myself into here. I am tearing the box apart because, of course, it doesn't want to open for me. Why would it, right? Well, that definitely looks like a model kit. What's all that? Oh, yeah. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah. Okay, so, interesting thing. I'm just going to show you guys. These kinds of kits are similar to, like, the Blockies type figures in that they use borderline Lego-style parts to build an inner frame. You can see they have, like, the kind of Technic plus-size pieces there. And then you build the model kit itself on top of that. So I did a video on that Ultraman kit of theirs from Blockies, different company. But it was a pretty similar concept. So you can see here, it is pretty much just a good old basic model kit. A couple pieces fell off, but thankfully they are floating around in the bag, so I'm going to have to be careful about that. We've got plenty of gold-plated pieces, nice to see. The basic white and black parts. A game card. Thought it might have a code. It's got a QR code at least. I don't know what it's for. Well, that's a surprise and not the most pleasant of one. That's a lot of stickers. I was like, did the sticker come off? No. I mean, it's not that many, but I'm not a big fan. We'll see if they actually stick. That is a pretty hefty manual, I gotta say. Time for a closer look. So here is the lineup of the other kits in the series so far, at least from this set. They've got like this kind of dragon dude with claws attached to his arm. They've got this guy that looks like something out of Monster Hunter with the lance and shield combo. We've got the pretty boy assassin type, and we've got the white knight Lucifer looking dude, who reminds me of one of the Danboru Senki little battler type figures. So you can see here the joints look to have a lot of mobility. Don't know how much that's going to be hindered by the armor. The usual use your tweezers for the pieces. We got a parts breakdown. Like I said, very Lego-esque parts. Hopefully they are all nice and sturdy. I do like we have a breakdown of all of the sprues that we need for the part, and that seems to be, I don't know if that's stickers as well. I don't know. You can see everything is in color at least. That's always a good sign. See, much like a Lego kit, we're going to build the body and then actually attach everything model kit style. Somebody argued that, you know, there's a pretty natural progression from building Legos to building Gunpla. And I guess, you know what, I do agree for the most part. You know, you may not be using the pegs from a Lego necessarily to line up parts, but, you know, considering all the keyed sections of a kit that we have to then, you know, build up, not that surprising. You can see here how the arm is constructed. So, I mean, even though there are no English directions necessarily, this looks pretty straightforward in terms of how we're going to build it. Like I said, I think if you've built enough Lego kits before, I don't think this is going to be a bit of a problem. So this is going to be a new one for me, something different, and I'm always a fan of that. I mean, after all, that's the name of this channel, or at least part of it, is definitely hunting down those obscurities. So I'm going to get this built, we'll see how it turns out, and hopefully you guys are going to stick around to find out too, so sit tight. Alright, I got our Honor of Kings guy all put together here, and he ended up being a lot bigger than expected, I gotta say. And looking at the card here for the official name, Yin Bai Yong Tan Diao, I have no idea what the characters mean or what it translates to. I mean, I always know what a Lubu looks like, but I don't know, this guy really, I like the style. I did go ahead and put all the stickers on him. I don't know if they're very noticeable, actually. I really like this little floaty halo thing with the transparent plastic. I'll admit, upon opening the package and like really looking at the quality of the plastic, I was like, I don't know about this. But I gotta say, after putting it together, I am pretty darn impressed. It wasn't super duper expensive, and all things considered, given the size of the kit and the quality, I mean, all the joints are ratcheted, but that's not to be that much of a surprise. All things considered, that they're using kind of like those Lego parts as a basis there. Color choices are interesting, very regal, majestic, last boss villain-esque. The only real point of contention I have is I feel like the feet are a little bit small, and what's interesting is they actually have like these little rubber pellet Zoid style things that inserted into the bottom of the socket. I'm assuming to kind of help facilitate the ball joint, but that's the only actual spot that they used them. Unless I'm totally mistaken and I wasn't looking at things correctly, which is always entirely possible. So, you know, body itself, quite nice, pretty sturdy. And I mean, really, he's pretty big. So grabbing my 1/144th Gundam entry grade that's been sitting here slowly but surely falling apart. I mean, I'd put him on scale with at least like a 1/100th kit. I wasn't a big fan of the gold stuff. It seems just kind of painted on. Not that they did a poor job either. I just like it a little bit fancier, I guess, for lack of a better explanation. So this is from Key Play, I mentioned. Immediately made me think of the Blockies Ultraman, and even that, while being a bit more of a traditional model, still has a pretty similar Lego frame inner workings that you actually build the model up on. And I gotta say, like, the color separation on this guy was pretty impressive, as you can see. Plus he had these kind of cool pre-colored rubbery armor parts that went over him for the flame effects there. But this guy's kind of in his own class. He knocks over the Gundam. I mean, I am, like I said, pretty darn impressed. Construction-wise, really not that complicated. I would feel comfortable and confident giving this to a older child. Definitely, even though it says you don't need the clippers or anything, I would still recommend them for a kit like this. Just because the more delicate nature of some of the parts, or they're in weird positions to cut off, it might be a little bit easier for everybody if you have access to those. I do like the fact that he can actually hold his weapon up due to those ratcheted joints too. That's pretty nice. So I gotta say, if you want something a little bit different, and you're willing to do the legwork to go hunt down something like this might not be a bad little option. I actually have a couple other Honor of Kings kits. Yeah, I say kits. In various sizes on the way currently in the mail. And so hopefully once we get a hold of those, we will be able to show those off as well. But I gotta say, if this is what I can expect, I'm quite pleased with it. So hopefully you guys would be too. And good luck trying to find any of the other models because, again, outside of just knowing the title and looking at the over-the-top prices, if you can find this stuff on places like eBay, I would definitely recommend do a little bit of research before you pull the trigger on those. So, with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.